Well, hello everyone. Another wonderful day in the shop. Today we happen to have this Taylor 214 that we're taking a look at. The customer brought in for a few issues, electronics, action, so on. But what I'm going to do is this actually gives me another one of those opportunities to really point something out that I see a lot that just bugs me. So let's go up here to the headstock and let's talk about stringing. Now let's take a look here. If we take a really close look, we're going to see these strings don't even have a half a wind on them, on the shafts. His one high E string here does have a wind and a half on it. So when you have tuning problems and other things from this, sometimes you don't even have enough angle down here at the nut to actually keep the string from buzzing in the nut because of it. But the biggest thing is the string keeps slipping. This guitar right now, I'm having a hard time actually even evaluating what was wrong with it because I can't get it tuned because they keep slipping. So what I'm going to do is later on here I'm going to show you how I restring a guitar. Like I said, I see guitars come in here like this all the time, and a lot of guys insist that it works for them, but there's other things also happen. Other than tuning instability, you've got one point of pressure here. So if that string's going to snap, it's going to snap right here. So a lot of times guys bring guitars in here that they've got like a half a wind on these things, and they're saying, well, it keeps breaking strings. Well, that's the reason you put a few winds up here. It takes the pressure right off this and actually spreads that pressure over some length of winding. So I'm going to get on with this. I have to do some other work, but when I get ready to string it back up, we'll get back in here and I'll show you how I do this. Okay, here we are. We're ready to finish up the stringing on this Taylor. As I mentioned earlier, strings put on the way I showed earlier have a tendency to break. There was actually 3 breaks while I was working on this guitar. So there you go. So I'm going to show you how I put on strings at the shop. This is no big secret. This is actually a combination of the Gibson and Martin owner's manuals that I found years ago. So let's get to it. First thing I do is I always put the holes in the tuner across the headstock. Now this works not only with acoustics but any 3 on a side headstock. So we go in from the inside. I like to get about 6 inches of slack in the string, which you can't see back here, but there is some slack. It's going to give me about 3 or 4 winds around the tuner. I'm going to come to the inside of the tuner under the string back here, hold it tight, crimp it back across it. The string is already locked. It's not going anywhere. And we tune it up. Just get some tension on this one. That's the way I do the unwound strings. Clip that one off out of the way. I'll show you that again on the other unwound string. We go in from the inside. We keep about 6 inches of slack back here. We come to the inside. We go under the string. Hold it tight. Go back across tight and crimp it. Gives a little V bend right here. Since this is going to be our quick tip number 6, you might want to go back and take a look, if you haven't seen it, or review quick tip number 5, about the other end of the string, especially on acoustics. And this is the way we do the wound strings. Again, with the inside, we have our slack maintained. Now the first wind goes, actually do a Z bend here, okay? Then the first wind goes across the top of the loose end, then you come down underneath here. See how I've come across here and down underneath the string. And then when you wind, you will see that the loose end here is going to be pinched between these two windings. I don't know, maybe we should spring for a cameraman. This is pretty tough. Again, come in from the inside, do the Z bend, just a 90-degree bend on each end. Take this end across the top, bring it underneath the other winding, I'm also trying to keep an eye on the way it looks on the camera. Try to keep my big hands out of the way. Years ago, I used to have lots of customers bring their guitars in the shop that were gigging musicians when you had actually such a thing. And they'd have me restring their guitars because they swore they wouldn't go out of tune. So whatever worked for them, I didn't mind doing it for them. And there you go. You can see what you end up with here. You can actually shove this down a little bit if you need to, but usually when I do it, they're tight enough. You see what you end up with, the loose end here is tied in with the others. On this side, on the high strings, you have this nice little curl right here that pinches everything off. The string doesn't slip. And you notice we have about 3 winds to 4 winds on each string. There you go. Hope that helps you. Makes tuning stability a whole lot nicer. So there you go, quick tip number 6. Till next time, play nice. I'll see you later.